Hi there folks, today I have a recipe video for you. It's a sweet alcoholic drink. It's actually a Quince liqueur. As you can probably see from the video, the main ingredient are the fruit of the quince tree. I'll be voicing this clip because it was recorded in our noisy kitchen and shot over the course of several weeks. First, you can see me cleaning and chopping quince. I started with 2 kilos. Many of them had maggots in the fruit and some had brown rot. So I'm cutting away all the parts which are not good, and those go to the compost. And the other parts I'm keeping for the recipe. If middle part of the fruit where the seeds are, the quince core, is not rotten and it has no maggots in it, you can save and dry that. And the herbal tea made out of the quince cores is a very good cough remedy. We use that in winter time for the kids mainly, but also for us. It has a good flavor, and if you sweeten the quince core tea with a bit of honey, it's very well accepted by the kids. You can see that while I'm cleaning the quince, I'm not peeling the skin, which imparts an important part of the flavor to the liqueur. After I'm done chopping and cleaning, I'll be using my kitchen scale to weigh the final amount. And in this case, it came to about 1.5 kilos, so I threw away half a kilo of quince. Take note that the quince are used raw, they are not boiled or heat treated in any way. This will help not release the pectin, and if you boil them, especially with their cores, your final product will probably be a bit slimy. The cleaned quince have to be grated or minced in order to increase their surface area and to be easier to release as much of the juices as possible. You can use a slow juicer, but we don't have one. And the regular juicing machines, they leave too much of the juice into the pulp. Also, I find that this lower method of macerating the grated quince with some sugar for a couple of days releases more of the aroma of the fruit and makes for a better tasting liqueur. So I'll be using our electric grater with the finest grate of the three sizes. The result is a rather fine pulp. You can see me here assembling the grate, and then I'll just do the whole batch in a couple of minutes. I tested the mash by squeezing it to see how juicy it was, and it came out way juicier than I expected, because this year we have had the driest autumn in recorded history, and I suspected that the quince fruit may be too dry, but obviously they have deeper roots and the trees managed to make nice and juicy fruit. Now I'm adding some sugar. The bowl is sitting on the kitchen scale and I'm slowly adding sugar. For this 1.5 kilos of fruit, I added half a kilogram of sugar. After that, I'll be mixing the two together, and I will leave them for a day or two on a sunny window. The juices will be released out of the grated fruit and the sugar will be dissolved, and we will end up with sweetened quince juice. After I mix the sugar and the grated fruit thoroughly. I will leave this bowl covered with a piece of cotton cloth on a sunny windowsill for a couple of days. No need to stir it daily. And afterwards, you have to strain the juice which was separated and then press as hard as you can the remaining pulp through a sieve so you extract as much of the juice as possible. I managed to get 1.1 liters of juice, which was very surprising to me, out of 1.5 kg grated quince. To the strained mixture, it's now time to add your alcohol, and I'll talk about that in a minute, and also the flavorings. The absolutely obligatory one is rose geranium leaves. You need a couple of those for each liter of your mixture, and also a couple of cloves, the same condiment which you'll be using in your mulled wine or cinnamon buns. So this all will be poured in a couple of glass jars, and those will sit in our basement in a cool and dry and dark location for a couple of weeks, preferably 30 to 40 days, which will make the liqueur milder. A side note about alcohol content. Traditionally, sweet liqueurs have 15 to 25 alcohol by volume percentage content. If you like the liqueur to be a bit stronger, aim for 22 to 25%. And if you want it to be easier to drink, I suggest 15 to 18% ideally. I advise you to use an online calculator of alcohol by volume and do the math according to the amount of fruit juice you start with and the type of alcohol which you will be adding. In this case, for 1.1 liters of fruit juice plus 500 grams of sugar, we should have added about 1 liter of 40% vodka to reach 15 to 18% alcohol by volume, which would be ideal. So a couple of weeks have passed, and we have been eager to test our new Quince liqueur. So we're shortening a bit the wait time. The liquid is being strained through a piece of cotton cloth. The idea is to separate the sedimented, uh, very fine pieces of pulp, and the resulting liqueur will be bottled and ready to be enjoyed, preferably in a good company or used as a holiday gift. Double straining didn't manage to remove all the sediment, so after we returned it to the glass jars, we left it for a few hours to allow the sediments to separate at the bottom, after which we decanted the top clear part. If you are okay with a bit murkier liquor, this step can easily be omitted. And in the end, I wanted to leave you with the shot of the final product. You can see how clear it is and the golden yellow, a bit of an amber color even. It has an amazing fruity, flowery aroma. So I encourage you, if you have queens available, to try this simple recipe and enjoy this delicious sweet liqueur.